Cut yourself shaving, Bertie. Very funny. Now, I'm still relying on you, Bertie, to speak to him about the allowance. Why can't you do it? You know he respects you. Doesn't respect me at all. Oh, well, here goes.
Come in.
What's her, Uncle Mortimer?
Richard, my boy.
This is... Well, this is my wife. Uncle Mortimer, Rosemary. Rosemary, Uncle Mortimer.
How do you do, Lord Bittlesham?
What a charming girl. Charming. Good afternoon, Miss Wooster.
What, oh, what?
You all right?
Cut myself shaving.
Richard has told me so little about you.
Rosemary.
Rosemary. I look forward to the time we spend together while we get to know each other.
I look forward to that, too. Oh, have you read this, Lord Bittlesham?
Oh, yes, 3 times already. Are you also an admirer of Rosie M. Banks?
I am Rosie M. Banks.
Hardly, old girl.
Rosie M. Banks is my nom de plume.
It's Rosemary's little joke, Uncle. Her maiden name was Rosemary Bancroft.
And the name I use for my novels is Rosie M. Banks.
I should be very careful what you say, young lady. The real Rosie M. Banks is in this room.
Well, I know she is.
It's quite all right, Lord Bittlesham.
Indeed, that book is inscribed by her, him.
Him? Who wrote this?
She did. He did.
Whoever wrote it had no right to do so.
Come on, Rosie. Joke over.
This is no joke, Richard. If someone's been forging my name...
But you're a waitress.
Only whilst I was gathering material for my new book.
This is an outrage, and in the worst possible taste, Mr. Wooster. I'm sorry that the woman my nephew has chosen to marry should be so lost to ordinary common decency as to attempt to perpetrate such a deception.
How dare you?
Wait a minute. If you're Rosie M. Banks, why didn't you tell me?
I was going to, but I was so touched by the fact that you seemed to love me for myself that I put it off until we got back to London. And now I have to put up with this fat relative of yours abusing me.
How dare you, madam? That man so bravely standing there deserves an immediate apology.
What man?
This is all most interesting, Mr. Dobson.
I thought you might find it so, Mr. Jeeves.
Jeeves, a swift retirement to prepared positions is in order.
I shall follow a few steps behind, if that is acceptable, sir. I should not like to be seen in association with that hat.
Jeeves.
There's a gentleman waiting to see you, Mr. Wooster.
Oh?
Mr. Waterbury.
Bertie!
Trix and me have been talking it over, and we both feel that a simple wedding would be best. No need for a lot of fuss and expense. And Niagara Falls for the honeymoon. She's always wanted to see Niagara Falls.
Mr. Waterbury, I'm afraid I don't quite catch your drift. Do I gather that Trix is thinking of getting married?
Now, wait a minute, Bertie. Didn't you introduce her to your gentleman friend as your fiancé?
Well, that was just a ruse.
What?
Well, surely you explained it to her that I wanted her to pretend that we were engaged.
What did I do that for?
$50.
I don't remember any $50. All I remember is the love light in your eyes when you first saw her. I remember it as if it was only yesterday. Her snuggled up there in your lap, pouring forth words of love.
You're talking through your hat, Jazz Waterbury. You've got your facts wrong.
Wrong?
I will trouble you to break it to Miss Waterbury that the wedding bells will not ring out.
You don't want to marry Trixie?
I wouldn't marry her with a 10-foot pole.
Oh, God. This is really terrible. What am I going to say to that poor girl? You want to break the engagement after you've announced it in front of witnesses and all? Oh, the shame of it.
But there wasn't any blasted engagement.
I really hate these breach of promise cases. Hate them. As if mere money could ever make life anything but a dreary desert for her after losing you. But $15,000 may help.
Now, look here, Mr. Waterbury.
Or maybe 20 would be fairer. There's a despair and desolation to be taken into account.
Despair and poppycock.
You're a hard man, Bertie. I'll come and see you tomorrow and get your decision. And if you still don't feel like writing that check, I'll ask a pal of mine to do what he can to persuade you. He's an all-in wrestler by the name of Porky Chub. Well, he's retired now because he broke a fellow's spine, but he's still in great shape. Oh, you should see him crack Brazil nuts with his fingers. Oh, he'll do anything for me. Good night, Mr. Wooster. Good night.
Should I go and start packing, sir?
Mr. and Mrs. Peter Bradley. Anyone in for 2 feet?
Not as far as I can see, sir.
Well, so far so good, eh, Jeeves?
So far, so good, sir.
This is the one.
Never so Rocky.
Rocky.
You know, up and down.
Jeez, Trixie, we ain't even moving yet.
Oh.
Oh, Blair, we can start a new life away from Worcester, back in England with Daddy.
But I thought your father had already been run out of England.
Certainly not. There were some old stick-in-the-muds at the BMA who doubted the Glossop method, but there was never any official complaint.
This won't make any difference to us, will it, Honoria?
Of course not, you silly goose.
Well, well, well. Here we are again, Jeeves. Going home.
Yes, indeed, sir.
What was it the fella said about home, Jeeves?
If you are alluding to the American poet John Howard Payne, sir, he compared it to its advantage with pleasures and palaces. He called it sweet and said there was no place like it.
What are you drinking, Bertie? Oh, thank you, Bingo. Dry martini. How do you know who I was? That beard wouldn't convince a whelk. Rosie's going to London to consult her lawyers about suing you. What? What for? Impersonating a sane person. My uncle's on board, too. He's going to be a witness. Well, why didn't you just tell them the truth? What? And tell her that we worked the Rosie M. Bank squeeze to try and get me married to someone else. She said one of the things that first attracted her to me was the fact that I'd never been in love before. You didn't tell her that? Yes, I did. Great Scott. Anyway, they're both rather anxious to have a word with you. Oh, my hat. They didn't know I'm on board, did they? Not yet. Ah, here's Rosie. Rosie.
Who's that strange man with beard?
Oh, I don't know. Some foreigner.
He had a very funny walk.
Lord Bittlesham's on board, Jeeves.
Yes, sir, I encountered his lordship late this afternoon.
And Bingo says that Mrs. Bingo is going to sue me.
His lordship intimated that such was the intention, sir.
Well, what am I going to do, Jeeves? I can't go into court. Did you say something, Jeeves?
No, sir.
It's funny, how could There it is again.
I got it all worked out. Is this a torn ligament job or a bone breaker? I got it all worked out. We wait until everything's quiet, then we strike. Strike, sure.
It's the people next door, Jeeves. Seem to know that voice.
We gotta do the plan my way.
That way we don't have no trouble from anyone.
No trouble. Right.
Did you find out where he is?
I was just discussing with Porky. He's in the next cabin, number 16.
Next door.
They're talking about me, Jeeves.
Surely not, sir.
It's gotta be a pushover.
Me and Porky are going to go there tonight and have a little word.
They're going to...
Porky just loves to
Drink this, sir.
and he'd do anything for me.
It's Waterbury.
The theatrical agent, sir?
Waterbury is talking to Porky Jupp. Waterbury and Porky Jupp are on the other side of that wall, talking about coming in here tonight and having a little word. Well, we know what that means. As far as I can gather from Waterbury, the only three words that Porky Jupp knows are biff, bash, and bludgeon. Well,